All right. For the next segment, we got your brother coming in, and for that, I'm going to
You
step
mean
out
like
of.
my blood brother or like my? Let me make sure I get this right for Tango.
You're both, I guess.
Well, you put him in one of your films. You should know him just as much as I do.
Well, yeah, I'm saying he's yeah. So our brother, your blood brother.
I,
I'm going
in
to.
fairness, I've hung out with your brother more. You've hung out with mine, so somebody's slipping.
This feels really weird doing this after the diatribe that you just went on, but the white man is about to get up and give his seat to the black man coming in to sit down.
It all starts with change, guys.
So I'm gonna go sit in the back of the room.
And we are here for a segment you know as Cast, Crew, and You. Throughout the season, this is where we bring in people from films who are actors, actresses, directors, cinematographers, but we felt it not justice if not at least once this season, we can actually make it a true Cast, Crew, and You. And this week who we have here, we have none other than the person responsible for about 40% of my early childhood, all the film, TV.
I would say it's more like 65.
They forget where they come from. But with that being said, this week on TTFT, we have none other than Julian. You know him as number 12 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, Wilson. Welcome to the show, Mr. Wilson.
Appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
Hey, Mr. Wilson.
Hey, don't start that.
All right.
That's not no Dennis the Menace.
Okay. And at the end of the show, ladies, we're going to let you date on, basically take a poll on who has the sexiest voice. And I already know who that is, ladies. So,
Well,
yeah, deep as a well. And with that being said...
hello.
All right, guys. So with that being said, you know what we're talking about this week, and the real reason why Julian's here with us today is because he's the person that I can give 100% credit on. Even when I was really into film, he used to always ask me, "Yes, have you not seen Jackie Brown?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to see it."
Jackie.
He's like, "Stop what you're doing right now. Turn to this channel." Your kids usually have to turn to a channel before all the Fire Stick days and everything. You turn to a channel.
True.
And so none other. We are here, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring, of course, everybody you know from Michael Keaton to Chris Tucker to Pam Grier to the list goes
Samuel
on. L. Jackson. I mean, the list just really goes on and on. And not rest in peace, Mr. Tiny Lister Zeus as well.
You get my beeper number.
Yeah, see, there you go. All right. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So I must ask you, Julian.
Yes.
What elements about this film made it stand out in your mind to be one of those films that no matter where it's at, you had to stop and watch it right then and there?
Well, for me, the movie itself is just a Tarantino classic. Now, I know a lot of people gravitate to Pulp Fiction. However, for me, that was his homage, kind of the throwback of black exploitation films. You see what I'm saying? And so, of course, anytime you got a elder stated Pam Grier, that's gonna stop you in your tracks right there. I know a lot of y'all don't know about that, but if you were to go back maybe 35 so years and just
Black Coffee.
oh
Talk to me.
talk to me, say something. But yeah, just go back and check out some of her earlier work. She was more than a dime piece. She might have been a quarter.
Silver dollar is what I call them.
A quarter water. So but basically for me, it's just one of Tarantino's best. Like I said, it's just it brings back all the nostalgia of those black exploitation films for me.
Gotcha. Now, when you say it's one of his classics, a lot of people, like you say, you have Pulp Fiction, and clearly you have things like Inglourious Basterds, Hateful Eight. Different people will gravitate towards him. He's a very controversial director.
I agree.
Even with is it Dusk Till Dawn? George Clooney.
Yep.
Like a lot of times he will involve himself in these films. This time though, he is not involved in the film.
Is not. Right.
Let's talk about Sam motherfucking Jackson for a minute.
Motherfucking Jackson.
Not even. Let's start with him, but also talk to me about the lineup of this. I mean, this is star-studded. I mean, I'm talking about these aren't people at the end of their careers. These are just.
So for me, again, Tarantino always give you some of Hollywood's finest, and even though they don't play major roles, their roles are pivotal in the movies. So when you look at the movies, you get invested in the character. For me, it's never really the actors. It's more of the words. He's a wordsmith, as we say, a wordsmith. You know what I'm saying? He gives it to you and you don't even expect it.
Right.
Like one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and this is in the way he captures the black audience. Like one of my favorite scenes in the movie, of course, is when your boy Chris Tucker you know, your man, he bailed him out of jail. And he was like,
hey man, I'm home.
I'm home.
And why are you home?
And why? And he was like, well, man, I hate to be the type of nigga that, you know,
he do a nigga a favor and then bam.
Turn around, ask a nigga for a favor, but I'm gonna have to be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's how you.
They could have stopped the movie right there for me.
Classic, bro. Like I said, and think about how many times you did a nigga a favor, and you be like, damn, I hate to have to ask a nigga another favor. I'm gonna have to ask him because I need a favor. You know what I'm saying? All and up just to set him up to kill him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that lets
you
know right then from the start of the movie what type of dude you was dealing with.
The character development had been set.
Exactly.
Like I said, it's hidden in the devil's in the details, and like you say, and that's another thing that made it beautiful to me was because again, there's a caper going on behind it. You have to look past this is black exploitation, everything.
Correct.
They're letting you know if you remove all color from this, there's a guy that's selling guns that. First off, selling guns is not the worst thing he does. What did he say later on in the film? This is a clear-cut case between him and me, and you damn sure it ain't gonna be me. So my point is, he is bailing niggas out to kill them. Like, and this is what's beautiful about it.
Yeah.
But not only is he bailing them out, he's a cheap killer. Because he went in there, he was like, I need you to transfer that $10,000 from Beaumont over to Miss Brown. He was like, what happened to Beaumont? He's like, what you gonna do with Beaumont? He's like, I think somebody already did that.
Right. Clearly. And the way he dances on the fine line of telling on himself, but not really telling on himself.
But Max Cherry said that he like, because you want me to know what you think, what kind of smart guy you are. You got stewardess is bringing you $10,000. Now, why would I have stewardess bringing me $10,000? Now you want me to speculate on what you do.
Right. Exactly. So like again, just a wordsmith all the way around. Like for me, I'm a person who loves wordplay. And me and you, we do it back and forth all day.
Yes.
So if you are someone who loves wordplay and how words can really draw you in or take you away, because you can watch an action movie, you know. And one thing about this movie, Jackie Brown, is that and like I said, a lot of people try to compare it to Pulp Fiction, but to me, there is no comparison because they're just two different movies, all in their own lane. You know what I mean? With Pulp Fiction, you were jumping around. You know what I mean? You was this, and this, and they're all connected. But with Jackie Brown, it's a traditional storyline where you see a struggling black woman who's on the back end of her career. She really ain't made much of herself, what have you. And
really set the world on fire, Jackie, didn't you?
So now she's just trying to make a couple ends meet. She's doing stuff she knows she shouldn't be doing, and if she eventually gets caught. Now she's between a rock and a hard place. So we think. Mm-hmm. But how we didn't know, and what I speculate all the time is she might have planned this already. She was gonna rob this nigga.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
It just happened sooner than expected. Right.
Exactly.
Right, because remember she was like, "I've been thinking about how we can get your money over here." She didn't say when she started thinking about this. There you go. Exactly. I love it.
So
now
you got to look deeper.
If you had not Pam Grier and not Samuel Jackson, if you had a favorite character in this film outside of them, who would it be and why?
Oh man, I mean, of course it's Samuel L. Jackson.
But outside of them two, outside of Sam and Pam, who else?
Outside of Sam, Pam,
yes,
that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's what we both
because they basically carried the movie. But if I had to have, I like Max Cherry.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Okay. I'll tell you why. At every turn,
he got bit by the juice, man. Go ahead and tell me.
At every turn, he had an opportunity to fuck everybody over.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Real talk. Because first of all, he's known this game. He's been in the game for 20-30 years.
Yeah.
So when he had already put the angles in play. He already knew that your boy was probably stinking in the trunk somewhere. He already knew that. Beaumont. He knew Beaumont was out of there.
Beaumont Livingston. Yeah.
He knew that, hey, if I go, at the end when Jackie offered him to come with her, he knew you was a part of something illicit. I ain't gonna be the road with you, but I have my memories.
Yes.
So he never stepped out of his character.
Also, he could have walked right out that damn mall and not said nothing. Nobody had gone.
Again, that my point. He stayed in his lane. He stayed true to himself, which was, hey, all I am is Max Cherry. All I do is get bonds money, and I got a big nigga named
Winston
that will go find your ass. How did you find him? That's what I do.
So speak about that. When we talk about Tiny Lister, of course, me and you, Friday, but for me and you, it was more so what he did in Fifth Element, of course. So I mean, the first time we ever saw a black president.
Black president.
Yeah. So I mean, and yes, it gave him like 3 minutes in the movie, but anyway, it's okay. So he was there, and then to see his range in this, but to me, I wish we could have. got a little bit more of Winston because again, I mean, I'm just saying if the movie could have ran longer. I mean, some people complain that it's 3 hours. Some people behind the camera.
Well, I mean, so just to take a step back, even before Jackie Brown, so even before Friday, see, you got to go back to what you gonna do when the Hulkamania comes down on you.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know where I'm going.
Yes, take me there. Take me there.
Zeus.
Yes.
The mighty Zeus.
The mighty Zeus.
See, I've been a fan for a long time. So,
right.
I mean, so to see him in little bit parts, that doesn't bother me because, again, his presence is so overwhelming. He's a dominant character. You can't, he really, to me, he can't take a lead in a movie like that.
Right.
Because, again, his presence is so big. Not only he's a big man, but he has a big presence.
Right.
Deep voice. So whenever he speaks, it booms. So just like when that little tiny scene when he said, well, give me the beeper number.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like, well, bring me out with the beeper number, nigga.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Powerful. Stopped him in his tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Not only, remember, a lot of people don't remember him, and I never hear people bring this up. He's in The Dark Knight. Remember, he was on the ship. He was like, why don't you give me that?
Yeah.
He's like, man, I'm going to do with it what you should have did with it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He said, you can give it to me, I can take it. When you got 75 hardcore cock-hit niggas all quiet listening to another nigga, everybody shut the up, exactly. All right? So, yeah, I agree.
Presence, body, build,
right?
Presence,
demeanor,
voice,
right?
Action.
Right,
that's all you got. That's all you need.
So like I say, we would be remiss if we did not just give a definitely a shot. His filmography, guys. You have no idea. Like he said, the mighty Zeus.
Mighty Zeus. The only one. Well, I don't even say the only one, but the first one to really slam.
Cole Hogan, the true slam.
The true slam.
Yes. There you go, guys. See, never thought wrestling would make it to the show, but it did. All right, so let me ask you this. Okay. So again, I want to dive into this plot point of this right now. So, what do you think Bobby De Niro's character, where his loyalty lied at? Because clearly he was loyal to Ordell Rogan.
Okay.
But at the same time, it just his character was so just if I felt like he was a soldier, but he could belong to anywhere. Talk to me about what he brought to, because you mentioned earlier that he didn't have a big part, didn't have many words, but his presence was felt.
Okay. So I'm gonna sum this up with one line. What happened to you? You used to be so beautiful. So that told you right there. This guy used to be a soldier. Mm-hmm. This guy was probably hard hitting.
Yeah.
No action. No
bullshit.
Will just knock your ass out.
Right.
Do you however he need to do you.
Right.
But unfortunately, Father Time and the drugs have caught up with him. So he wasn't the same guy. He wasn't that same guy. So when Odell said those words, he meant it. He meant it. Man, what happened to you, man?
Well, is she dead or is she not?
And that's, again, hats off, Bobby De Niro, playing that role, playing that in between character.
Right.
Again, we've seen him in so many lead characters.
He
stepped back, but he still gave you everything. Gave you everything he had in the movie because, again, how many people can pay a functional junkie?
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Christian Bale, the boxer.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But again, not only a pivotal character,
right,
but a pivotal plot.
Correct.
Because again, he killed Melody.
Right.
Did he rob her?
I don't think he did.
No, he didn't. But as
Ordell was looking like, the nigga I know used to rob this bitch, right?
The nigga I know would have my money,
right here, and that's why he said, yeah. So and he didn't want to kill him. He didn't want to kill him, but he had to. He was alive. The moment you come alive, the L is for liability in Ordell. ORDE, liability roping.
I think more so. I'm not saying he didn't want to kill him.
He didn't.
But again,
he had to.
He had to kill him because of why? First of all, you have broken the sacred trust.
Right.
As in Meet the Fockers.
Right.
You were in the circle of trust. And you broke the circle of trust.
Right.
Once you break that circle of trust, now you're right. You've become a liability. So I have to tie up all my loose ends.
Right.
I was going to kill Melody anyway, but I appreciate you. See, in my mind, he was going to kill everybody anyway.
Right.
That's how you got to me, that's how you got to look at the movie because, again, he showed you who he was in the opening scene.
Correct.
I'm killing everybody.
Who is that? An employee I had to let go.
I'm taking my money and I'm getting the hell out of here.
What you gonna do? Spend the rest of my life spending?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this real quick, and this because you just said this. Now to me, I think most people don't understand this because you said, okay, it's an interesting plot point that Robert De Niro's character He used to be a soldier, and like I say, I think that's Tarantino paying an homage. If you've seen Raging Bull, if you've seen Heat, if you've seen God, I mean, whatever. I mean, we don't have to go down. We know he's a legend. So my point is this: what makes me bring this up is I don't know if you saw it. Well, actually, we did talk about The Irishman. Now, to me, like that's him. Like to me, like I said, that's not him. But like his later stages in his life. But my point is this: is that we get this is what is beautiful about film. The setup was he didn't have many words. He had a little bit of screen time, but like to your point. That from the time that motherfucker gets in the mall and leaves, that's where we get the payoff of the soldier he used to be. When she look at him, she's like, "The job too much for you." He gives that look like, right. Don't you know what the fuck I done did over the last 2 days? They still ain't caught me for. They still looking for the Goodfellas version of me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, we got that. It's like him. That tracking scene in the parking lot is him. That's the last 10 seconds of the soldier. He ain't been waiting to use this shit, fam. He was like, pow, 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 pow.
Right. And it's such a far character from what we're used to seeing him playing, like in Heat.
Yes.
Lead character. You know what I mean? Main character.
What is the flip side of that coin?
Yeah. Hey, you see what I'm saying? I'll take you down. You see what I'm saying? So that just shows you again another actor who's been doing it for 40 plus decades. You know what I mean? Just giving you range. And again, he didn't need to be on every scene of the movie. But again, once he steps in, you know he's going to give you something. You know he's going to give you a degree that you didn't have or that you weren't expecting. You know what I'm saying? Again. We don't know if he didn't really take. We know he didn't take the money.
Correct.
But because he's not the person he used to be, Odell doesn't know.
Right.
And again, once you broke that circle of trust, you gotta go.
Right. And I think that's one of the best lines. You really hit on the head. What happened to you, man? You used to be beautiful. Like they say, they did time together. He didn't see. It's like seeing somebody been a soldier all your life. Now all of a sudden they just like a shell of themselves.
Exactly.
Like he couldn't even remember. He like, well, I figured you ain't had no pussy in a while. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. What sets Jackie Brown apart from, and you were talking about this earlier, not just from other Tarantino films, what makes this a classic? Because as you know, we have where white stuff is just on, but when Jackie Brown's on, you call us, be like, you know what's on? Like, what sets it to that standard?
Again, it's just the words. Again, if you're a lover of words like I am, and you know the power of words, because see, words set your emotion, they set your tone. You know, if somebody's telling you a story, that story can either make you sad or it can make you happy, depending on what verbiage or what words they use, or even how they set it up. So with Jackie Brown, it's always about the setup. It's always about the setup. Like even though he wasn't like a classic scene when Odell's was going to try to probably kill Jackie in the beginning. This motherfucker walking around cutting off lights. And she in there trying to make coffee.
And she cutting off. It's a whole nother language dance going on.
So now those wasn't words, but the scene was so beautiful because this nigga putting on gloves.
Hold on, to quote Paul Mooney, how many gloves did this nigga have? Right, the brown was the black was the. I was like,
putting on gloves. But again, Jackie, knowing the motherfucker she dealing with, was prepared for him.
Already done stole the gun from the bail bondsman. Hid it in the purse next to the cigarettes.
She
you want to talk?
Right. Yeah. So again, to me, what sets it off is two things. Again, first for me, it's the words. Classic lines. AK-47. When you absolutely got to kill every motherfucker in the building. You know what I'm saying? With no exception. You know what I'm saying? Classic. How many times have you want to use that line on a motherfucker? Like for real.
And then they got the right motherfucker to say it too.
Exactly. And then it's just the way shit was set up. Like again, I reference back to he wanted to put Beaumont in the trunk. Man, I want to help you out. I want to get no trunk.
Right. Like, damn, man. And it's funny you say that because if you guys have seen the episode, that's the opening to what we did today. That's the scene he's referencing with Chris Tucker and, of course, with Samuel L. Jackson. Now, before we let you go, I would be remiss if I didn't. I know we talked a lot about Jackie Brown, but, of course, I must pay homage to things. People never get their flowers while they can still smell them. He is genuinely, he didn't take me to any basketball courts. He didn't take me to any football fields, and you guys better thank him for it because this is what you got from it. But again, what got you? I know what got me into it, but what got you into watching film? What got you into just saying there's something about what I'm saying? Like you mentioned words and stories and setups, but what really got you into? Damn it, this is just I love watching film, TV. What got you into it?
So for me, TV is always, of course, they usually call it the idiot box. So, but to me, it's really a form of learning. You can watch a different genre of films, movie, TV. Like I've never been stuck on one simple thing. So if I cut on the TV, I might start watching a movie that I've seen before and just wait till I see my favorite parts. Then I might flip to the news and see what's going on, try to, keep myself abreast of what's going on in the world. Then I might flip to nature. You know what I mean? So television and movies are educational tools, or can be educational tools if you allow them to be. So with that being said, I've always been a person that looks for knowledge in various places. And again, to me, someone's always telling a story, because that's really all a movie is a story. If you're watching television, somebody's telling you a story. If you're watching the news, you're hearing real-time stories. So all these things correlate with one another, and they bring you to a place where if you allow yourself to understand and listen, and basically soak in what's going on, it's going to educate you to things that you may have not even been aware of. Like I said, I watched the Nature Channel, National Geographic, and you can sit there and watch that all day. I mean, if you're someone that loves nature, you don't really have to love nature, but nature is basically humanity repeating itself. You see what I'm saying? So if you're someone that's in tune with that particular part of yourself, then you will basically educate yourself and enlighten yourself.
Well, there you have it, and thus that you see the foundation of it and where he comes from and why he doesn't. And like I said, if I didn't ever say thank you, I want to say thank you to the world for Mr. Julian Wilson joining us on TTFT. And guys, if you're going to go look him up on IMDb, the world is fortunate enough to find one project that me and him are in together, directed by none other than Durden Godfrey. I Am Going to Kill Someone this Friday. Pick it up there now. But Julian, we thank you for coming on. Listen, by the way, you're going to be the one and only you of cast, crew, and you to say, listen, we're going to put you up there. You got some heavy competition for our best interview.
Number 24 on your fans page. Number 1 in your hearts.
Is that only fans, or which fans are you talking about?
Hey.
Black and Dicker, season 1 coming soon.
Find us in all these links. It's coming up right now.
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.